In our journey through the philosophy of James Allen, we have traveled from the secret seeds of thought to the visible harvest of character, circumstance, and bodily health. We have learned that we are the masters of our mental gardens, and that achievement is the crown of sacrifice and purpose. Now, we arrive at the summit of this wisdom, the final and perhaps most beautiful pillars of the human experience: visions, ideals, and the crowning jewel of serenity. In a world often dominated by purely material vocations and the heavy pressure of material trials, Allen presents a startling perspective. The dreamers are the saviors of the world. While we often celebrate the builders of cities and the managers of industry, Allen reminds us that the visible world is sustained by the invisible. Just as the oak sleeps in the acorn and the bird waits in the egg, the highest vision of the soul contains a waking angel. Humanity cannot afford to let its ideals fade and die, for it lives in them. It knows them as the ultimate realities that it shall one day see and know. The composer, the sculptor, the painter, the poet, the prophet, and the sage are the architects of heaven and the makers of the world to come. The world is beautiful simply because they have lived. Without their visions, working humanity would perish. To cherish a beautiful vision or a lofty ideal in your heart is not an act of idle fantasy. It is the act of preparing your future reality. Allen provides historical evidence of this creative power. Giordano Bruno cherished a vision of an infinite universe and remained faithful to it even at the cost of his life. Copernicus fostered the vision of a wider cosmos and revealed it. Buddha beheld the vision of a spiritual world of stainless beauty and entered into it. If you remain true to the music that stirs in your heart and the loveliness that drapes your purest thoughts, your world will at last be built out of them. Allen's central teaching is that to desire is to obtain, to aspire is to achieve. He challenges the notion that a person's basest desires should receive gratification while their purest aspirations starve. The law is quite the opposite. Your vision is the promise of what you shall one day be, and your ideal is the prophecy of what you shall at last unveil. This transformative power is most evident when we look at how an ideal allows an individual to overcome even the most hostile or unfavorable circumstances. Allen describes a young person who is hard-pressed by poverty and labor, confined in an unhealthy workshop, unschooled and unrefined. Yet, this person dreams of better things and conceives of an ideal condition of life characterized by intelligence, refinement, and grace. This internal vision takes possession of the youth's mind. Because such inward travel is impossible without outward stillness, every spare moment and every small resource are devoted to the development of latent powers. Soon, the mind becomes so altered that the workshop can no longer contain the life once confined there. It falls away like a garment cast aside. Years later, we find this youth a master of the mind, wielding worldwide influence, having become one with the ideal through gravitation toward that which was most secretly loved. It must be understood that one inevitably becomes as limited as one's ruling desire, or as great as one's governing aspiration. Whether one is engaged in humble labor or in the keeping of accounts, the guidance of the Spirit may lead into the studio of the Master or toward the regeneration of the world, provided an ideal is clearly perceived and earnestly pursued. Into one's hands are placed the precise fruits of one's own thinking. Each receives exactly what has been earned, neither more nor less. Allen takes a firm stand against the popular concepts of luck, fortune, and chance. The thoughtless, the ignorant, and the idle see only the apparent effects of a successful life and exclaim, "How lucky he is." They see the light and joy but call it luck. They behold the pleasant goal but call it good fortune. What they do not see are the trials, the failures, and the struggles that these individuals voluntarily encountered to gain their experience. They have no knowledge of the sacrifices made, the undaunted efforts put forth, or the faith exercised to realize the vision of the heart. In all human affairs, there are efforts and there are results, and the strength of the effort is the measure of the result. Chance is a non-entity. Spiritual and material possessions are thoughts completed, objects accomplished, visions realized. The vision you glorify in your mind and the ideal you enthrone in your heart are the blueprints by which you build your life. As the final fruits of the soul, Alan presents the concept of serenity. Calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. It is not a natural gift for the few, but the result of long and patient effort in self-control. To be serene is to indicate a ripened experience and a sophisticated knowledge of the laws and operations of thought. A person becomes calm in the measure that they understand themselves as a thought-evolved being. As they develop this right understanding and see the internal relations of things through cause and effect, they cease to fuss and fume and worry and grieve. They remain poised, steadfast, and serene. This calmness is precious as wisdom, more to be desired than gold. The practical benefits of serenity are immense. The calm person, having learned how to govern themselves, knows how to adapt to others. In turn, others revere their spiritual strength and feel they can rely upon it. The more tranquil one becomes, the greater one's success, influence, and power for good. Even in the world of trade, prosperity increases for those of equanimity, for people always prefer to deal with someone whose demeanor is consistently balanced. The strong, calm person is like a shade-giving tree in a thirsty land or a sheltering rock in a storm. While the majority of humanity surges with uncontrolled passion and is blown about by anxiety and doubt, the wise person makes the winds and the storms of the soul obey them. This exquisite poise of character is the last lesson of culture. To solidify our understanding of these deep truths, Alan offers a powerful nautical metaphor. Imagine that the ocean of life is the environment in which we all exist. In this ocean, isles of blessedness are smiling, and the sunny shore of your ideal awaits your coming. However, many souls are tempest-tossed, tumultuous with ungoverned grief and anxiety. The difference between the one who reaches the shore and the one who is lost at sea lies in the helm of thought. You must keep your hand firmly upon the helm of thought. Inside the bark of your soul, the inner vessel of your being, reclines a commanding master. This master, which represents your highest, most divine potential, often appears to be asleep, leaving you at the mercy of the winds of passion and circumstance. Your task is to wake him. When the master is awake and your hand is steady on the helm, you can command the storms. Self-control is strength. Right thought is mastery. Calmness is power. No matter how violent the waves of life may seem, the individual who has mastered their thoughts can look at the raging sea of the soul and say with absolute authority, "Peace, be still." As we close this study of the construction of character, remember that you are the architect, the gardener, and the captain. Your visions are the seeds of your future, and your serenity is the proof of your mastery. The sunny shore of your ideal is not a fantasy. It is a destination that is reached through the consistent, disciplined, and purposeful application of thought. Wake the master within, take the helm, and begin your voyage toward the isles of blessedness.